Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I apologise in advance for what I'm about to do. I'm about to commit sacrilege. Oh, that's a green light. That's a green light. Don't look. Shit. Oh well. So, several of you guys have asked me to do a video about my Subaru Impreza, and I have every intention of doing it. I've said that I'm going to do it, and I will. The reason I haven't is because the MOT has run out, and blah 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 blah. I haven't had it redone. I will do it. So I figured, what can I do in the meantime? I got thinking, yeah, you know what I could do? I could talk about my car history. I know, some of you just went, and I'm sorry. I figured my car history is relatively interesting, so some of you may give a shit. So let's start from the very beginning, right? I was 18, I think, when I passed my test. My very first car was a Vauxhall Corsa, 1998. 1 litre, 3-cylinder, loved it to death. It was the slowest thing in the world. It was awful, but I loved it nonetheless because it meant that I could zip out of school at lunchtime for a quick Mackie D's me. That car taught me about freedom, and I will always have a soft spot for it. I kind of half rolled it into a bush about maybe 10 months after I got it. I know what you're thinking. I mean, he's about to tell a giant lie and come up with some reason why it wasn't his fault, and you're fucking right, I am. I was driving down some country roads, Isle of Wight style, so single track, very thin, very bumpy. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning because I'd been to a party with some friends, and again, I know what you're thinking. No, I wasn't drinking. That's not my style. And I came over a crest. I had 2 of my buddies in the car, came over a crest, and I saw that the road went straight ahead. I was only doing about 28, 30-ish miles an hour, which was verified by the independent police report, before you ask. Anyway, came over this crest, saw the road went straight on, and then after committing to going straight on, I saw a gate, and it turns out that the road actually was a 90-degree turn to the left, and so I tried to make the turn and instead kind of understeered across the road, hit the grass bank, and the car tipped up onto its side, and we all climbed out the window. The damage wasn't all that horrendous. We had it repaired, and I carried on driving that for like another 6 months or so, I guess. Cue my second car. So after this, I had a thing for engine conversions, right? I love sleepers. Sleepers are my favourite. I love a car that looks like shitty, or at least understated, and delivers some pretty decent performance. So my second car was a 1992 Peugeot 106 XD or XN or something. It was the old square-shaped Peugeot 106 diesel, but it had been taken to a company called Pug Sport, and Pug Sport fit a 106 GTI engine in it, a 1.6 16 valve, is it? With some high lift cams and a piggyback ECU mapped for the cams. That thing was amazeballs. I absolutely love that little car. It weighed nothing because it's a tin can. I must have had that car for probably 6 or 7 months. I think I was 19 when I made my jump from little batty boy in his Peugeot to Japanese turbocharged fun. And that's when I bought my first Nissan Pulsar GT-Air off a buddy of mine. Hadn't been all that well looked after, but it was cheap. Picked it up for a couple of grand, and it was a 2-litre turbo. It was running about 230-ish horsepower, I guess. When I bought it, it also had like a flush tailgate and just some horrible, horrible mods, which I undid. I put the car back to standard physically. Enjoyed that for a good while, probably a year, until the bottom end gave way. It started to rattle. So once the bottom end went, I went and picked up another Pulsar. So this time I went and got a grey one, and this one was fully forged, HKS pistons, the lot. It was running about 340, 350 horsepower. It had a front exit exhaust that came out of the side of the bumper. It used to spit enormous flames, man. Utterly, utterly enormous flames. And I adored that car. Absolutely adored it. I had that for about a year and a half. I decided to move up in the world. And when I was 21, I went and bought a Mitsubishi Evo 5 GSR. And it was pretty much standard. It had a straight through exhaust and an air filter. It was running about 300. Truth be told, actually I really didn't like it. I adored the look of it, don't get me wrong, and it drove beautifully, but that was kind of the problem. It was slower than the Pulsar that I just sold to buy it, because obviously the Pulsar was running more power and it's lighter and smaller. So the Pulsar was way more exciting to drive than the Evo. And I jumped straight into this 98 Evo 5 and was like, oh my god, it handles like it's on rails and stuff, which is nice and everything, but at the time I wanted excitement, I wanted fun. And the Evo was very clinical and kind of tedious, because it was too easy. It didn't require any work and it didn't feel very quick either. It didn't really tick the boxes for me. And so I thought, okay, you know what, excitement is what I want. Let's fuck off the Evo and get something that's really exciting. So I drove the Evo up to Birmingham and I swapped it for a fully street ported and single turbo converted 1995 Mazda RX-7, which was goddamn terrifying, man, absolutely terrifying. It's like a 500 brake car. The clutch in it was horrific. I remember once I was driving it through Burnout on the Isle of Wight, which is really, really steep everywhere. The entire place is just like a steep hill. And I knew that if I had to stop on the way up one of those hills, I'd be fucked. And lo and behold, somebody in a tiny little yellow Cinquecento stalled, which then meant I stalled. And the only way I could get to the top of the hill was to intentionally keep stalling the Rex so that it would lurch forward until I reached the top. Bell end. I adored my RX-7, easily the quickest car I've ever owned, and honestly, I reckon it would destroy this in a straight line, no fucking problem. My girlfriend at the time didn't like it. It made my mother cry once, actually. I took it to a local garage to have a small oil leak looked at. The turbo return was leaking. I was driving it over there, my mum was driving behind me so that she could take me back after I left the car there. And as I was driving up a hill towards the garage, I decided to put my foot down a little. And I did, and I left a giant set of 11s on the road, you know, back end of the car squirming up the hill. Because as soon as that car came on boost, the wheels would just light up every single time. Which actually is part of the reason why I sold it in the end. So mum's following me and she shits her pants because she thinks that I'm losing control of it, and she bursts into tears. Immediately bursts into tears thinking, oh my god, he's crashing. Bless her. And I made the entire thing so much worse by saying, look, no mum, it's fine, honestly, don't worry, I do that shit all the time. And incidentally, one of the reasons that I sold that car was because it just didn't belong here. These roads are not made for it. And that much power was useless, because the only time you could really use the power is if the car was perfectly straight, like completely straight, and you came on the power really gently. If one of the wheels was on the white line in the middle of the road, it would spin up. If I was overtaking and I put my foot down before the car had straightened, like as I'm going, wheels would just spin up and it would spit the end out. So you kind of had to drive it as if it was slow. It was very weird. Like, what I mean by that is you had to plan the overtakes. You had to look way ahead and see that it's nice and clear. You had to drop back to an hour gap for when it comes on boost and shoots forward, and then you had to pull out nice and slowly, straighten up, and then gradually come on the power. So I ended up not really enjoying it all that much. It's not built for this kind of place, and it was too low and too bumpy, and so I sold it for Pulsar number 3. Pulsar number 3 I didn't have very long, 6 months or so. I didn't really get on with it. It wasn't a great one, there was just something about it. I didn't really gel with it, so Pulsar number 3 was then sold on for Pulsar number 4. Pulsar number 4 was a 2.2 stroker built by Tomei, and it was mapped by Tweenie Rob, may he rest in peace. And that car was a weapon, absolute weapon. It was fully stripped, so it weighed like 900 kilos or something, and it was putting out 395 horsepower and 411 foot-pounds of torque. Absolute monster, absolute monster. It was so fast. 4-wheel drive, tiny little hatchback with 400. Holy shit, I loved that car to death, absolutely loved it. And in between owning all these cars, my girlfriend and I at the time were swapping. I mean, these cars were just mine, and her and I had other cars between us. We had two JDM 98 spec Integra Type Rs, which were amazing, one of my favourite cars on the planet. Despite the power that I've had before, the Integra Type R is just such a driver's car, it's amazing. We also had a 1998 version 5 JDM STI, which was fantastic as well. Anyway, so now Pulsar number 4 is gone. I ended up kind of falling out of love with it because it was loud and obnoxious, and you know, by then my son is around, so I got rid of it. But I split it for parts, and it ended up going to all corners of the globe. The shell went to Ireland, the engine went to Scotland, and the rest of the bits and pieces went literally everywhere. I remember posting things to Latvia, Slovenia, quite a lot of stuff went to the Netherlands, just everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Hello. And then I bought the Impreza, so now I'm rolling around in a 2002 Bug-Eye Impreza wagon, and it's great. It's great. I love it. It does everything that I need. It's big, it's comfortable, plenty of storage space, so it's somewhat practical, sounds great. It's got enough poke to be fun, but I won't go into that car too much, obviously, because that's another video. Anyway, to round all this shit off, there you go. That's my car history. I've got some time off this Christmas, so I'm going to work through my backlog of suggestions that you guys have submitted. If you guys aren't familiar with what a suggestion is, it is literally a subscriber suggestion for a video. Suggestion. So if there's a topic that you want me to talk about, let me know. Tweet me, email me, comment, whatever. I'd like you to talk about this, I'd like you to talk about that, I'd like you to shut your fucking face and go and jump off a cliff and die. Whatever it is. Submit one and I will get round to it. So over the next 3 and a bit weeks, I'm going to make my way through my backlog of suggestion vlogs, which should be good fun. But for now, I'm going to run away and get myself some breakfast, because I'm super hungry, and I will catch you guys in the next video. So thank you so much for watching. I've been Smo, you guys have been awesome. Peace.
She wasn't ugly. I mean, she was pretty, you know, pretty-ish. Pretty-ish. I mean, how fucking insulting is that? She wasn't ugly. She was average-ish. Oh, preppy boy, preppy. Look at you and your chinos on a Saturday. I bet you're religious. Oh, such a twat. Oh my god. This woman in front's got a 206 convertible, and I used to have one of those. I'm not a hairdresser, but I used to have one. And you know, they're really shit cars. John's going to say they're alright. They're fucking not. They're horrendous. Look at this tie-dye bitch. Fucking hell. Seriously, man. It's like she's taken a whole rainbow and wrapped it around herself.